start off in Europe, and there are reports at least 13 people have been killed, hundreds trapped, and flights cancelled from the deadly snowstorms and avalanches that have been occurring across Europe. We will have a look at the forecast very shortly, but let's head to New Zealand, where a cold front is going to bring some rain to the South Island, and only light showers forecast across the eastern regions. Queenstown 23 degrees, Dunedin a top of 21. In Asia, we've got rain that's moving into central parts of China, and western Japan we could see some snow. And getting back to Europe, it doesn't look like the snow will ease for a few days at least. It might gradually ease, still remaining very cold, but yes, devastating news there. In contrast, we've got fine conditions under a blocking high pressure system for the western parts of Europe. Heading to Africa, in the south, Cape Town 23, storms yet again for Joburg. We're heading for a top of 28 degrees there, and showers and storms will head to the southern parts of the Amazon and the Brazil region as well, mainly in the southern areas. Sao Paulo 31, Buenos Aires 26 degrees, high pressure keeping the southern parts dry. And finally, cold northerly winds behind a front is going across the northeast. We can see by those temperatures into the minuses as a maximum for Chicago and also Toronto, -6 degrees, and rain along the Pacific Northwest coast. And of course, for the most comprehensive weather in the nation, we are right here on 603 Sky News Weather.
A brief break from Australian weather, we're taking you overseas to Europe, where heavy snow has been blanketing parts of Greece. Now, residents of the Greek capital Athens woke on Tuesday morning to rare snowfall as the country shivered in a grip of a cold spell. Sub-freezing temperatures have hit most regions. Now, snow-covered sandy beaches and beach umbrellas on the coast. Most schools around the capital were closed as a result, and local media reported that there were power cuts in regions of the country and some villages were snowed under. Railway and bus services also disrupted from this system, and graders were out in full force with the cold spell caused the closure of many local roads and parts of the national highway. Temperatures as low as -23 degrees have been recorded in the region in the north, with temperatures as low as 1 degree Celsius predicted for the capital.
Luxury Mekong River Cruise is the perfect way for you to see the world this year. From a spectacular gala dinner at a 9th century Angkor temple in Cambodia to a picturesque sunset on the Mekong River in Vietnam. See the world with Scenic.
Book your 13-day
Scenic 13-day Mekong River Cruise. What was that? What was the place? Excuse me, I just had a thought.
In Cambodia to a picture.
Cambodia. Interesting, because I was just thinking of Cuba a few minutes ago. And I was thinking the Cuban triplets, identical triplet Cubans, could be connected to the prophecy symbolically. The penny in the pond, and penny is going to be in 3 different oceans, right? When 19 minutes rewound, could that be the age? Maybe. It's 16 reflected. One mirror boy is 16, the other mirror boy is 19. Makes sense. And Cuban. The 3 Cuban dancers. Identical triplets. Owen and Riley are identical twins. Penny. Riley took the penny from the pond after seeing it reflect in the moonlight. It's Lily who thinks Riley has a super bum. Riley calls Lily Lilium super bum. It's Lilium superbum, actually. But Riley knows he's got a super bum, and Lily often reminds him. That's why Lily and Riley are going to get together. But Cuban. Yeah, Cuban. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of reflections. And Cuba, there's a connection to Cuba. I just checked, and Cuba has the same value as Jake. Jake equals 27. Cuba, 27. Cuban equals 41. Brat equals 41. Riley is a brat. And he's reflecting a Cuban boy. Cuban. The Cuban triplets, identical triplets, not just twins but triplets, and they're ballet dancers. Ballet dancers. So Riley's going to get his dancing shoes on a Saturday night. That's right, a Saturday night. So that'll be Saturday the 19th. I think, yes. Saturday is the 19th of January, 2019. Saturday the 19th, that makes sense. The keystone number in the Dark Tower is 19, and the keystone date is the 19th of June, 1999. I'm literally having a realization right now as I'm speaking. Saturday, 19th of June, 1999, and Saturday, the 19th of January, 2019. That's when Riley, who is a message for the Cuban mirror boy, Riley is going to get his dancing shoes on a Saturday night. And then on Sunday night, well, who knows? Who knows? Could Riley be so honest with himself, that the penny transforms into the ring? And is that why Fingers of Rain were going to Darwin? Is Riley going to wear the ring on his ring finger? Maybe. If he does, then who knows Riley's potential. I've been saying he'll be a Category 3, Category 4, depending which intensity scale you're looking at. But if Riley is able to wear the ring, see, 22, that's the date when Jake died. It was a Sunday, and it's a Sunday night when Riley's going to do something. What was it? What's he going to do on the Sunday night? It's Perth in Western Australia. That's where he's going to go. How do I know? Because there's lots of people there, lots of things to break. Riley's a vandal, he's a brat. So, three oceans. Penny's going to be a cyclone in 3 oceans. She's the circle. The circle only has one side. Riley and Lily, Penny. Riley stole the penny from the ponds. Cuba. There's a connection to Cuba. I know there is.
Sunset on the Mekong River in Vietnam. See the world with Scenic.
Book your 13-day luxury Mekong River cruise and tour and fly free. See your Scenic agent or call 138 128 today.
There's this thing called the internet.
The internet. The internet.
The internet.
The internet.
The internet.
The internet.
The internet. What is internet anyway?
Internet. The internet.
Can you explain what internet is?
Okay, let me break it down for you in the simplest of terms.
This is day one of an entirely new world.
They just broke the law. See, that feels over the top to me.
Valley of the Boom, Tuesdays at 8:30 on National Geographic.
Set in motion that would change the course of summer forever. Eventually, this event would reach critical mass. That eventually has arrived.
This summer.
It's back! Predicted across the sun. Experts have called it this phenomena the Big Bang.
BDL on Fox Cricket. Take cover.
This is Sky News weather. Is a severe weather alert.
Storms continuing for parts of New South Wales at the moment. Large hail and damaging winds are risking storms that are weakening as they move towards the coastal fringe. Here we have the radar imagery, which shows where those storms have been. The odd rumble in western Sydney, but most of the storms have actually been in the Hunter Valley today. They're forming and moving towards the coastline. But notice as they move, they make their way towards the coast, they're weakening significantly. So some of the stronger storms are actually those that are inland. Since 9 a.m. this morning, Cessnock's picked up 3 millimeters, Singleton 3 millimeters. But what we have seen is nice temperature drops with these storms. Temperatures dropping around 5 to 7 degrees within the space of half an hour at Singleton earlier with the storm that came through. The storm warning area now includes places like Newcastle, Port Stephen region, inland of Scone, Cessnock, Maitland, Katoomba, and the Bilpin area. And remember, storms could bring damaging winds and large hail, so if you are living in any of these areas, it's advisable that you put your car under cover. Looking at the forecast, showers and storms will ease back over the next few hours. Tomorrow we'll have rain and some light showers on the New South Wales coast and storms forming west and on the ranges tomorrow afternoon. In the Northern Territory, we also saw storms. Darwin had a storm earlier. It was listed as a severe one, but it didn't bring too many bad impacts, just a nice temperature drop there. You can see how those storms have now pushed largely offshore. Although that warning area has been canceled, there's a storm warning region for parts of the Kimberley and parts of the Gregory district of the Northern Territory for damaging winds. And meanwhile, in Queensland, ex-tropical cyclone Penny is located close to the Bowen coastline at the moment. The warning area has been updated now. It no longer stretches as far to the north as Ingham, but what we can expect is that same heavy rain risk. So areas to the south of ex-tropical cyclone Penny are those that will see the heaviest of the rainfall. And that's what we've been seeing today. Let's take a look at that radar imagery, though. To the south of the center of the low pressure system, that's where we're seeing that persistent onshore flow. That's where we're seeing the heaviest of the rain. Some areas over the period between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. have actually collected over 70 millimeters of rainfall. That's just inland of the Mackay area. To the north of the system, it's actually fairly hot. Townsville's had their hottest January day in 3 years. Since 9 a.m., Williamston's had 52 millimeters, Claremont 9, and of course Rockhampton just a little bit under 4 millimeters there. Sustained winds have started to drop across the coral reef in the Whitsundays region. Earlier today we were having sustained winds 30 to 45 kilometers an hour. It's dropped significantly back between 20 to 35 kilometers an hour. Now, ex-tropical cyclone Penny will continue to move near parallel to the coastline. As it does, a trough to the south of it will drive in heavy rain, showers, and storms to parts of the Herbert and Lower Burdekin for areas including Townsville tonight and into tomorrow. That's your main risk period there. So just a heads up with that one. Townsville, it's been a hot day for you, but tomorrow's when that severe weather looks to hit you. And meanwhile, those temperatures, quite warm in Cairns, 27 degrees there. Brisbane, 28 degrees. And in the west, Perth, the sea breezes hit you, 28 degrees.
That's the second time I've seen 191 today. 19.1 in Melbourne. I saw 191 earlier. 191 millimeters of rain was recorded at some place near Proserpine from tropical cyclone Penny. Cuba. Definitely there's a connection to Cuba. I know what the connection is, and I just thought of something else to do with Cuba. And that is, do you remember which cyclone brushed Cuba from one end to the other, all the way along Cuba? That was Irma. Hurricane Irma went from one end of Cuba to the other. Irma would have actually hit Florida as a much more powerful hurricane had it not scraped all the way along Cuba. That's what weakened her down to a more bearable Cat 2. From the Cat 5 that she was. So, a Cuban connection, huh? That's interesting. The thing I associate with Cuba, more than anything else, to be honest, is the identical triplets, the ballet dancers. And that fits with what's happening now with the Penny. Penny having 3 lives in 3 different oceans. Her third life in the Indian Ocean, well, that makes sense. She's taking it west. She's taking it west because Riley's going to be a western boy. Aha. It's all coming together. Canberra, 27 degrees. Cuba equals 27. Jake, 27. Code equals 27.